got this shit knocking though.
Welcome back, everybody, to Drunken Opinions. I am your host, David Hope. With me always, my buds, my best friends, my human centipedes, Brenden Joseph,
Hey, bud.
and Andrew Roach.
Hi.
You people who know Andrew Roach, you might know him as Stats,
That's right.
or AKA Tasty Yum Yum Boys,
I didn't know you were going to bring my favorite movie into the show.
AKA
Quickly.
Yum, 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 yum. It's one of my favorites for you. So
Just like making eating noises.
I
little
just
nibbling noises.
I like making little ASMR. I like making them sounds.
This is really all this is just an ASMR
All it is. I'm gonna
experiment.
I feel like you're trying to pull that way too much
What?
by like getting slowly into
It
the
doesn't
microphone.
leave my brain, honestly.
It's a crazy trip. You can have a whole show devoted to how fucked up that is. On the board and computers and everything else in my life, our good friend Nick Beef Lo Mein Pizarro.
Loves the.
But you didn't get the beef today, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, you wanted something else. Oh, there it is.
He wanted pork.
Look at those beefy curtains. All right, so you can find us on Twitter. We still haven't changed the Twitter handle, so just, you know what, just search for Drunken Opinions, but it's actually drinkable words, okay? Drunkenopinion.com. iTunes, give us some likes, give us some 5 stars, give us some feedback, tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us everything.
Tell us we just fucking
Tell us
suck.
what sucks. So on today's show, we got a little game for you. Me and my dudes here, we're talking about certain things. When you think of a state, what does that state make you think of? Could be good things, could be bad things, could be things that don't even make any sense to that state. So we like to play a game today called This State Makes You Think Of. One is on his cell phones looking at places to hide dead bodies, and the other one is watching a hockey game.
Actually looking at shoes.
Shoes. Running shoes, killing shoes.
Possibly.
Killing shoes. He's looking for a killing shoe. Nick, what are you drinking? Is that rosé? He's just straight swigging Colorasi out of a jug bottle. That's good. So I'll start this game, considering I'm the only one paying attention right now.
Probably a good idea.
So
You are the host. I
that's
want you to
true.
remember
So let me, if I didn't explain it that well, each one of us has 16 states in which we will break down what we think when we hear about these states. We all took Massachusetts, and that would be at the end of. I think this is going to be a couple-parter episode.
Yeah, we're
This
gonna
might
have a
be
few
a,
on this is
a
long.
3 or 4.
There
This
are
is going to be a long
52
episode.
states?
Well, this is there 52?
Should we add a Puerto Rico on
I
this?
think there's 50.
51.
Are you adding
Which one?
2 more
Yeah,
states?
2 more states.
I'm already getting mad.
This is
I knew
never-
this would. I had a conversation with him about this a long time ago. and
What,
he got
about
so mad about like the adding
2 extra states?
Yeah.
So what? You want to do Puerto Rico and what? Russia?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, it almost touches America, right?
Almost touches.
Technically.
You can see Russia from your house if you live in Alaska, allegedly.
And that's what one of mine is.
Oh.
So this is going to be the first show. I'm going to run through my list. You guys chime in if you think you could think of something else of my state, and then we'll go through yours. So my first state is Alabama. Alabama. The first thing I think of. The first thing I think of is definitely cousins kissing. Okay, followed by the monster truck rallies.
Why do you associate those with Alabama?
Why? Because it's that southern backward state. What? Why do I think
I feel
of
like
what?
it's a very generic thing to
Kissing
associate.
cousins
No.
or monster truck rallies?
Monster trucks.
Why? Are you,
They do them at Gillette.
They do them everywhere now.
They do them
yeah,
everywhere.
they do them
Tour.
everything. But I mean,
I feel like that's like
Grave digger.
I feel like that's like saying wrestling. Like,
I
you
didn't
could
know that your
associate
favorite sport was monster truck rallies.
No, I'm just-
Stats.
I'm-
How many monster truck rallies you been to in your life?
0.
You know what? The way that you're arguing, I think that you've been to at least 10.
You got something for monster
He's
truck
definitely
rallies.
got something from
No,
Monster Truck.
I'm just like it just struck me as weird that you would like associate it with Alabama. I have no.
I think
I was
he's
wondering if there was an
associated, like-
association with
I'm thinking-
Alabama.
I think he's just thinking south.
So I can go, if you want to go, I also have Arkansas. I'm thinking of Kansas's bitch brother, and then NASCAR. Are you fancy of NASCAR?
No, I just like I associate NASCAR with like I don't know. I guess I associate with the South, with
The southern states.
Yeah.
Like
With
NASCAR, I would associate like more of the Carolinas.
NASCAR?
Yeah.
I think everything under the,
I think like Florida. and-
See, I think the,
the
same
lower
thing.
part of the
yeah,
equator there.
I think it's more like an East Coast.
I think so
thing.
too, and that's why I was wondering if Monster Truck
wait,
was like something
You
specific.
think NASCAR's an East Coast thing?
Yes.
I would think it's.
I
more,
think it's straight down the middle. Like, you can cut a line through the belly of America, and it's the South. I mean, with
yeah, I
I
guess.
just
certain parts.
associate it with like the tracks and stuff like that, and where they normally host.
I mean, there's certain parts in the north that have tracks, like obviously
Yeah,
Indianapolis, but also New Hampshire has a speedway.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
that's a big race.
But like, also, what happened?
I don't think Arkansas has a track.
Probably not. But also, it's just a backwards ass southern state. So,
100%.
I mean, we're also talking about
Like you want
Yeah.
to talk about a state that just has bad history for this country,
right. I mean, we're talking like Confederate flags and all here.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, there's one of them.
These episodes will never get down there because I don't think they have that technology.
I don't, well, unless they got the 2 tin can system going on. Tin can
We're
and
not putting
string.
this on Betamax.
So, okay, so let's get out of the South and let's go all the way west, way up. I also have Alaska. Alaska makes me think of Sarah Palin. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
You could see definitely everybody's house from there.
Yep.
You could see every place from her house. Eskimo Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's not so much Eskimo Brothers, more Eskimo, but I had to throw the brothers on there because that's where it originated from.
Yeah.
Where
Did you look up the history of the Eskimo Brotherhood?
no, absolutely, absolutely, I would never look up anything.
Do we have any Eskimo brothers in this room right now?
No.
Me and Nick are Eskimo cousins. With,
I don't know why.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
I don't want to say it.
We
out
won't
on
name
the- I
names,
don't want to
but-
name it just in case someone's boyfriend is listening to it.
They're also
And
bartenders
he-
too.
And he hangs. Well, one of them is.
One of them used to be.
Yeah. Well, I think her boyfriend might listen to the show and hang himself with the sound of my voice.
That could be pretty.
But I
true.
mean, that's fine.
It is deep.
Ice, lots of ice everywhere,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then government money because the government pays you to live up there because of the Alaskan pipeline.
That's true.
So
Is that right?
It's yeah.
See, I think of
Yeah,
like
they get us,
um,
I think it's you know what? I don't even want to put a number on it, but it's a
Yeah.
pretty good amount of money to live there.
So I think of like I don't know. I think of like movies a lot. I guess that are like set there. So I think of like Grizzly Man,
Yeah.
and that I always forget the name of it, but the Christopher Nolan movie with Al Pacino, that's set up there. Anyway, it's a good movie. I always,
See, I
always
would go
get the
Mystery
mail.
Alaska.
Mystery
Mystery
Alaska,
Alaska.
the dog sled movies,
Oh, the Cuba
Balto.
Gooding Jr. one.
Snow Dogs.
Balto.
Balto. Oh, Balto.
Balto's a good animated movie.
Never seen it.
Jack
Sorry.
Frost.
I don't know.
The Michael Keaton
It's just
one?
interesting what you
Yeah.
come up with.
Oh wow.
He only wanted to be a snowman to save his family.
Insomnia is the Christopher Nolan.
Oh, and
Thank you, Nick.
Al Pacino and
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Yeah, before
Oh,
he died.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good. That's a good movie.
That's a good one.
Sorry, I just lost it. What else do you have, Dave?
I also have Arizona. Arizona, all I can think of is hot heat. Like, just
The hottest heat.
the hottest heat imaginable. So it's not Arizona, but I went to Vegas once in the middle of, I think it was July. It was the end of July, beginning of August. And the guy, I said something in one of the casinos. I said, man, it's 117 out. And the guy goes, yeah, but it's dry heat. And I'm thinking, yeah, I guess he's right. He does live down in the south, like down on this side of the world. So maybe dry heat's different. No, a fucking 117 is 117. My face melted when I came out.
Yeah, there's just no humidity like there is here.
Right, but you know what? I think I might take the humidity over the face
No.
melting.
No, absolutely not. I
The
would take dry
face,
all day long.
I immediately died.
Yeah, you go into the casino.
Yeah, where am I going to hide here? I guess you can just build a casino and hide.
Arizona, I think of like.
I think a desert wasteland.
Yeah, I was gonna say like cactuses.
Right. It's all
'Cause
cactus.
I just think
and
of
tumbleweeds.
the old Arizona
Ghost
University
towns.
logo that had the cactus.
Yeah.
Like
Everything
military testing and like what state's the Grand Canyon in? Is that Arizona or is that New Mexico?
It's in Arizona too. It
Yeah.
goes through
A little bit of
couple
both.
It goes
states,
Yeah.
through a couple.
Yeah, I think of like that.
And then
Whenever I picture it, like again, like just like movies and stuff, but like I just picture it in like the palette of Breaking Bad, where like everything's kind of like
right, which
kind of like
I mean,
subdued and like tan.
yeah, like
You know?
there's a lot of turquoise around. That's a hard word to say when you've had a few beers.
Turquoise.
Everybody knows the history by now, who we are. I don't have to go through that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just a couple of people who just need a lot of stuff off our chest. It also makes me think of the Phoenix Suns, which makes me think of
Yeah.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Because I loved that era of basketball. When Barkley was on
yeah.
the Suns, it was one of my favorite.
I love the Nash teams.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of fun. And I don't know why, but I always think of the NFL stadium, like I don't know why, but like
The
it
Cardinals?
Seems, yeah, it seems so weird that they like.
What
Well,
stadium? Is it the Cardinal Stadium or is it the Diamondback Stadium that looks like the coiled snake?
It's probably the
Well, don't they
Diamondbacks since
use-
Diamondbacks are snakes.
Yeah, but
Maybe it
there's-
is the football. I don't know.
Do
But
they
I always,
share? They don't share.
No,
no. Nobody
Diamondbacks have their own.
Yeah.
They have the pool
What
and
about
stuff.
the University of Phoenix or the?
Maybe some. There is University of
college?
Arizona.
Isn't that the one where they have the Super Bowl?
Oh,
They did a couple years
the
ago?
University of Phoenix State. Oh, yeah, like
Yeah. So the Cardinals don't play there.
no,
Cardinals play there. I think that's just the name.
yeah.
the
Okay.
Cardinals play there. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's a new one.
yeah, that's brand
And that's the
new.
one where they wheel the grass out, which I always found like fascinating.
See,
I
now
don't know why, but like,
that's really cool.
yeah,
that is.
but like I don't know, that just stuff always just like fascinates me. Like
Right.
the way you like take care of like grass that you like roll out of the stadium.
We got
It's just like
open dome stadium, I would imagine. Right?
Yeah,
Is that open?
it's open,
That has
yeah.
to be open
yeah,
because it's not going to snow.
It's
yeah.
not gonna start raining.
I also have Arkansas.
Yep.
All I can think of really is Kansas, and you mentioned earlier the Clintons.
Yep. The Clintons.
I did some research, but I forgot my research paper, so I'm not going to say
So
much.
you don't
truck.
have your homework.
I don't have my homework today. I have half my homework done. I was going to say monster trucks again, but I don't want to get yelled at yet again. So
Well, I think like you just need to like boil it down more to like kind of Hicks.
yeah, straight
Right.
hillbillies.
Yeah, because like that, I feel like that more.
Maybe instead of
encompasses,
kissing
like,
cousins, it's kissing siblings.
who knows?
You know.
I don't know.
It
I
gets-
don't
it
have any
gets
boots on the
super
ground.
religious in Arkansas too. I always think like that's like Alabama, Mississippi. Those
Like
little,
that,
some of the rural areas get super hardcore
What
religious.
what is the not Mormons? What am I thinking of?
These are more the Baptist Christians.
Yeah.
I think it's more so the Christians than it is the Baptists. Honestly,
Religion's just a fucked
but
up
yeah,
thing,
religion
anyways.
sucks.
California is next on my list. Hollywood all day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just Muscle Beach, bros working out, just total. Everybody's surfing. USA. I know there's more to
Oh, there's
California
so-
than
it's
just
huge.
just Hollywood, but also like Golden Gate Bridge,
Yeah.
which makes me think of rainbow flags. Which makes me think of our good dear friend Mike D'Elia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who is now just driving trolleys. Now he did start
Yeah.
the trolley episode of his life, and and then there's a whole nother backstory to California on my end that I could get into right now, but it
We
was
might get that for another
the
episode.
very first time I went to California. We went to San Diego, and then we took a train down to San Isidro, and then we walked over the border to Tijuana. So technically, I'm sure it will come up in later episodes on what happened to me in Tijuana.
You got a blowjob from a guy.
It's allegedly. It's not 100% true.
He had an Adam's apple.
No, it was. If he
was
did,
gonna-
it shaved it down.
I was gonna say this is like off topic, but like this is kind of what I think of when someone mentions California now.
Is my
Yeah, as
Tijuana
you go into
story?
Tijuana,
I
yeah.
think I get
It's one of my favorite things about it.
Hey,
I get
thinking
that
about-
beat from LL Cool J's going back to Cali, and all I think of is you getting a blowjob by a Tijuana man.
It wasn't a man.
That probably was.
I think of,
Tijuana's
like,
a weird place from what I understand.
like
It's a very strange place.
Burning Man and like festivals and just like how different like a lot of areas are.
Oh,
like
yeah.
how different the north is from the south of California.
You can
and, like,
cut that
Death
whole state up
Valley
into
and-
like maybe 4 or
Yeah.
5 different parts. Like there's a whole. There used to be this show on Vice, Abandon, and he did one episode of just like this wasteland of California.
Yeah.
Where it's like the water receded, and it used to be this like hot vacation spot back in the 60s, and all the water disappeared, but there's still people living there.
Right.
But now it's just, instead of the lakes and the rivers that ran through it, it's just a dust bowl now. But those people still live there, because where else? Where the hell are you gonna?
That's what
where are you
happens
gonna
a
live?
lot,
I mean, for those who can afford to leave, can leave. But
Then
I
there's,
mean,
like,
some people are just
wildfires
fucking
and-
stuck. Wildfire, everything burns down. Earthquakes out the ass. You know, it's wild. So my last one would be Colorado. Colorado Rockies always comes to mind.
Of course, we beat them in the World Series.
And that's why I always think about them. Now, lately, it's just the legalization of every tasty
marijuana.
treat that you can possibly.
It's delicious edibles.
The amount of money that comes in from that is absolutely amazing.
It's
amazing.
So great.
You said earlier, Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah,
which is great, which made me think of John Denver.
Yep.
You know, and then just
a real asshole.
which made me think of just crashing airplanes.
Think of like
It's-
South Park.
Yeah. South Park, who's had a stronghold for
Yeah.
20-something years now on TV, and I know this is they might just take over the whole Simpsons.
Probably. I feel like that's got to
record.
be the aim.
It's got to be now. It's got to be. Simpsons
Especially
are
like how
30
quickly they
years.
turn around stuff. And,
Right.
I don't know, I think of I don't know. There's a lot of other stuff like Aurora, the shooting in Aurora,
Yeah.
and then Columbine was in
Columbine.
Colorado.
That was a whole strange part of
Yeah.
life too, because
And,
I had graduated high school that year in '99 when that whole shit went down.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. That's a whole story too. When our senior prank, a friend of mine decided to throw smoke bombs in the hallway
That year?
So our school was a big square. So someone you know too. Actually, everybody here knows. He wasn't a friend. He was just like someone we went to school together. His brother just got kicked out of the military, and he stole 4 different smoke bombs. So there was a senior prank, and they all met up beforehand, and they said, we're going to pop these smoke bombs out in the 4 corners, and it's going to be funny, right? Columbine just happened at the time. Nothing was
That was
less
the beginning
funny.
of the school year too, right?
No, it was April vacation
It was
because Columbine
420.
was 420.
Oh, that's right.
Because they wanted to do it on Hitler's birthday because they thought they were really cool.
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Of course. So they let the smoke bombs, and this was May. This was the end of May, maybe middle of May. It was right before graduation.
Yeah.
And it was a friend of mine and then 3 other people. And they all went in the corners of the school, each one. And at X amount of time, they were going to release the pins, and everyone was going to, smoke bombs. 3 out of 4 were released. One of them pussied out, and he ran off. And they released the smoke bombs. And I remember when the fire alarm went off, we're all standing at the front door waiting to walk out because we're all going to walk out. And someone said, I hope they don't start shooting when we walk out these doors.
Holy
Everybody
shit.
paused in the hallway, and nobody wanted to leave until finally the smoke got it built up because
Yeah.
these were military grade smoke bombs. So the smoke got so intense and heavy, everybody just kind of like whoosh, right out.
Holy
And then we all went out, but obviously, luckily, nobody fucking sat out there and shot us. So fast forward to life, everybody got caught.
Anybody get arrested?
Yeah, the one that got kicked out of the mirror.
Yeah, that stole the smoke bombs.
That stole the smoke
Holy
bombs, but
shit.
nothing really. I guess I don't know. Nothing really transpired from it.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened to him.
Boys will be boys.
That's basically what they boiled it down to. He was probably put on probation, so on and so forth.
Garbage. I would've strung
So
him
that's my high school story. so what else? What we got? Other states. Who wants to go next? Give me a state.
My first state's Kentucky,
Oh,
which
that makes me think of horse racing, which makes me think it's like Calvin.
So that's what I put down. I put bourbon's my first one actually.
Yeah, naturally.
'Cause, I mean, I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite hobby.
I'm fucking drinking here.
And then of course the Derby.
Yeah.
We were on our 144th this year that just happened yesterday?
Well, yeah.
Who won?
I don't know. You know, this is like the first time I didn't watch the Derby.
This is the first time.
What is it?
Justified.
Justified?
So Justin
He was in,
Timberlake's horse?
that horse was in last year too, I think, right? I think so.
So it was Justin Timberlake was the jockey?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you he rocked that horse's body.
The big hats, of course, to do with the Derby too.
Floppy hats.
Yeah, think about the giant hats.
You
the
know,
monstrosities that women
now I
wear.
think of Kentucky Derby. All I think about is the time when Wes Welker took so much ecstasy and he
that was
won
so
all
good.
that money. That was amazing.
KFC, the
Yeah.
Colonel.
The Colonel. R.I.P. R.I.P. 100 years ago.
RTD too soon.
And then Muhammad Ali, one of our favorites.
Is he born in Kentucky?
He was born in Kentucky.
Was he?
Started boxing in Kentucky. I mean, I don't know where he eventually died. I think he.
Do you think that
I
he-
actually think he died in Arizona.
Do you think he ever worked at a KFC?
I don't
Like
think
coming
so.
up in the system?
Absolutely not.
The system, I mean, a system of life.
No, I
No.
can't see.
You
him
think he ever
working
met the Colonel?
out. That's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
He was alive at the same time, so.
That's true.
My next one's Louisiana,
Yeah.
Bourbon Street,
Yeah.
Mardi Gras, boobs,
Yeah, a lot
beads.
of. Do you? What was the name of that? What was the name of that video? Girls Gone Wild.
Oh,
Do you remember all
Jesus,
those
yeah.
Girls Gone Wild videos were always on Bourbon Street and with beads?
Yeah.
How many beads do you think that place has acquired in life?
I can only imagine. I feel like
It's got to
there's-
be in the
Visual beads.
I feel like there's a
Bees?
huge.
bees. Bees? Beads?
I feel like there's a huge like chunk of China that like lives off of this time of year.
No, why can't they just open up a factory? Why is it going to be in China? Why do we got to buy?
Because
Why
most of
can't we
that,
buy
most of those
American?
little things are made in China.
But why can't we buy
Have
American?
you ever seen Mardi Gras beads that say "Made in America"?
I don't actually think I've ever really seen too many.
Yeah,
Mardi
we
Gras
don't go
beads.
to potty stores all the time.
That's true. We should start.
Yeah,
We should get
absolutely
beads
not.
and just whip out our tits.
We throw beads at people and then we flash them.
Yeah, yeah. So they
Okay.
throw them back
All right,
because
I
I'm
like
not
that.
wasting that kind of money. I want my bead money
Smart.
back.
That's very smart.
One of my favorite movies, "Live and Let Die," was filmed in. There was a small part that was filmed in the French Quarter.
Great place, by the way.
My favorite Bond, Roger Moore,
Why?
because he's a great actor, and he was the longest Bond.
Was he born there?
No, but it always just I think of that scene in that movie.
Oh.
Was he the longest?
He was the longest
Bond?
running Bond. He
Really?
did Bond until he was like 906 and looked decrepit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Was he the first one?
No.
No,
there
Sean Connery was.
No, Sean Connery
No.
was the second Bond. There was one guy before, I can never remember his name.
Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob Bond.
Tim Bond.
Yeah. Triple B. Billy Bob Bond. Yep. So what else you got?
I got Maine.
Oh,
We want to talk about the Northern Hicks.
What do you got for Maine?
Top Stephen King.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everything's based in Maine in all his books for the most part.
Absolutely.
Lobsters.
No.
Maine lobsters.
No. You think Stephen King ever wrote a short story about a killer lobster?
There's got to be something. The
Probably
dude
just
writes.
changed Cujo at the last minute.
Does anybody have a Stephen King story?
No. Do you?
Okay. Yes, I have a Stephen King
Did he try to
story.
run you down in his car?
No, it was the weirdest thing.
Were you based on Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
You just couldn't get out of a relationship?
Did you meet a guy on death row?
No, so
That's
I
when
was
I
walking out
knew
of-
it was a
we've-
Shawshank Redemption.
Everybody's watched a bunch of Stephen King movies, right? Like the B ones, the made-for-TV ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some
But a
of
ton
them,
of those.
Yeah.
So I was going.
That's his favorite movie is The Shining.
That's one
true.
of my favorite
Yeah,
movies too.
that's a
He
great
has the
movie.
rug right there.
That's
Yeah.
true. I love it. I
have-
love that rug. I'm going to steal it one day. After next week's show, I'm just going to walk out
Sounds
with
good.
it.
So I was at the
I'll spoil it.
movie theaters in the Boston Commons, and I was sitting there waiting for a friend. We were going to go to a movie, and out comes. He was pretty tall to me. I didn't realize he was that tall.
Yeah.
So Stephen King walks by, and I just go, "Oh shit! I hope it's not like."
Stephen fucking King, bro.
No, I started thinking of Thinner. You know.
What are
You're
you
gonna
going
get cursed.
Yeah, because there's that. I was in that Adam
trying to
Sandler
lose weight
movie.
back
It was
then?
in
You were in the Adam Sandler
It was
movie?
Mr. Deeds.
You were
They're
in
like
it?
the most famous person that came to our town was Stephen King.
Stephen King,
Yeah.
right?
And the gas guy looked at him and he dropped 40 pounds in 2 weeks or something. So I was like, oh shit, Stephen King just walked by. Thinner. And then this bro came out just like you said and went, holy shit, this is Stephen King. You got a piece of paper?
Hey, Steven, you got a pen? I need you to sign something
The
for
man
me.
just saw a movie. Let him fucking go watch a movie. Let him do his thing.
I love how the fact that you have a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
I
was
also I you're not gonna believe this. I remember that I have a Stephen King story, but
Wait,
it's like
get
it's
the
like
fuck.
it's like sixth hand. So like so I had a roommate in college who had a friend that was like over one time, and like they just went to the Red Sox game like a couple days before, and he said that like him and his group of friends that went saw Stephen King, and like one of them went up to him and was like, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Dan Brown," or something. Like, you just called him like the wrong, just called him like a really bad author. I didn't believe him then, but I don't know why, but I like haven't thought about that in 10 years.
I feel like Stephen King would think that was funny, and then like 5 minutes later, be like, you know, fuck that kid.
You know what?
I can't remember who it was. I don't think it was Dan Brown. It was like whoever does like those like crappy,
R.L.
like
Stein.
Nicholas Sparks.
no, like
a
way
pleasure to
way
meet you,
back.
Nicholas
The guy that like had a book every year or something like that. Yeah, but I don't know who it was, but it was like something insulting.
Wow.
Why would you insult that guy? He'll haunt your fucking dreams.
He, what? Imagine that. Imagine being haunted by Stephen King. He just writes something up real
I
quick.
feel like it would be boring every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Just be him riding his bike and then getting hit.
No, I bet you if you made a reality show about Stephen King, I bet you any amount of money, it's like maybe 3 days of him eating ramen noodles. Just sitting by a window watching the leaves
Well,
fall
he's
off a tree, eating noodles. Not even ramen noodles.
Well, he's a
eating noodles with chopsticks.
recovering. Like he used to be a
Heroin
drug
addict?
addict, right?
Really?
No.
Yeah, he was like big into coke, right?
I mean,
Well, I don't want to say yeah, but I could see it.
I don't know. I feel like he had
some
like,
of his
shit.
early
I feel like
movies-
he's like a guy that's like sober now.
Well,
But and like used to
honestly,
be
though,
into a
like,
lot of stuff.
You look
and-
at his past writings. I mean, there's some like crazy psycho shit there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could heroin. I mean, coke. I would say any kind of like
I could see
mushrooms.
I could see like to use it as to stay up or something like that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
always
think it's a great idea in a brainstorm or some shit?
right.
I always thought that like there
Gotta
was
get
some
something done before. it's
there was
too
some
late.
like parts of him that were written into the main character and The Shining. That's like kind of like the writing and
Yeah.
like drug
There's some
addicts.
parts of me written
Yeah,
into
he's
The
an
Shining.
alcoholic drug addict.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
So I feel like
see
so I feel like you
alcohol.
watch him now. It's like any like recovering guy where like
Yeah.
you know they kind of like live a different life now. That's like not
Yeah.
really.
The only thing I remember of him like mentally
Like he sits
was
in front of a window eating noodles, watching the tree. Is exactly what I'm saying.
I feel like it's a different context when you know he just wants to fucking slam back a fucking six pack.
A 6-pack and a bottle of Jack.
like he stopped writing for a while because he started to scare the shit out of himself.
I-
That was like 10 or
Duly
15
notable.
years
Hey
ago
man,
or
if I
something
if
like
I
that.
stopped doing something because I scared the shit out of myself doing it, then I wouldn't
Like-
be here right now.
like
There'd be no way.
like
I'd
what
be
the
in
fuck
sh-
did you write down? What did you think of that? You're like, I'm fucking done.
I don't want to say
Burn
that,
this shit.
I don't want to say that I'm in a dark place sometimes, but like there's some things that I would be like, oh shit, did I just think that?
If I say this out loud, there's no going back.
Like when you're driving down the highway and you're by yourself, like your family's home and secure and they're doing their thing, but you're driving down the highway. Nick, I'm driving you home tonight, by the way, too. When you're driving down the highway and you see an oil tanker on your left and then an 18-wheel on your right, and you feel like just playing ping pong, like, and like, is that weird? Yeah. Oh, by the
See,
way,
that's the
we're
thing,
gonna
like-
take the scenic route home. We're going on the highway.
you can't
Yeah.
ask us that because both of us are gonna be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great right now. I don't want to go to work ever again.
Ugh. How many more states you got left? Where are you at? You just
I
finished Maine.
I just did the third. I have Maryland up next.
Maryland. Go for it.
Cal Ripken,
Well, all day.
always.
All day. And that great conspiracy that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Had sex with his wife.
Allegedly. Conspiracy-wise. And then they cut the electricity out to Camden. Is it
See,
Camden?
that-
Was it-
Camden.
That
It's
I
always been
100%
Camden's, right?
believe is fucking true.
Well, there's another side story to that, too, where it wasn't because of that. It was something else. He hurt himself in one of the plays the game before, so they cut the power. But there's a whole cutting power to the
yeah.
field, so he would get there and break that record. But
That wouldn't surprise me a bit. They wanted to keep that fucking thing going.
yeah, why not?
Crab cakes.
Yeah.
Those are delicious.
Never had a crab cake.
No,
What?
no,
Well,
Really?
I get pretty late into fish in general,
yeah.
and yeah, just haven't gotten around to crab
My
cakes
family
yet.
does the
I'll try 'em.
fish on
We'll get there.
Christmas Eve, and I'm just not a part of it.
Fish on Christmas Eve. That
Yeah,
was
it's an Italian
Chinese
thing.
food.
It's the seven fishes.
No, that's New Year's Eve.
We just ate Chinese food, so now I'm just.
But it's
we
not
eat
New
it
Year's
every
Eve.
day.
Is it New Year's Eve today?
Might be.
When are we counting down? I hear the Trailer Park Boys in my headphones. Are they coming? Or am I in a dream state? Because I dream.
The singer of one of my favorite songs.
Avril Lavigne?
Nope, Genuine.
She's Genuine. I thought Avril
Genuine
Lavigne.
is from Maryland.
You do enjoy Canada.
No, but going with that, Good Charlotte's from Maryland.
Good Charlotte.
That's sort of like Avril Lavigne.
For some reason, I completely forgot about those guys even existed.
But
One of them's married to
came out
Lionel
as-
Richie's kid, right?
Yeah.
Still?
Nicole Richie, yeah.
Ah.
They actually did pretty well for themselves. They had all those hits back in the 2000s.
Well, didn't they do something else where
They trademarked that eyeliner.
Oh, of course.
No, didn't they sell music or something, or they own the rights to somebody else's music?
So
or
they
something?
started writing for 5 Seconds of Summer. So some of
Really?
Yeah, some of their big hits.
The band that shuts up and dances with you?
No, that's Walk the Moon.
Oh, so
5 Seconds of Summer is
5 Seconds of Summer?
I don't know, they were a big band like a couple years ago.
Is it a
with the
boy
teens.
band?
And they play their own instruments. It's like a
Is that considered a boy? No, that's not.
yeah,
considered
it's a boy band. It's
But if you play your own
dudes.
instruments, well, then
Yeah.
any band is a boy band.
New Kids on the Block broke out guitars at one point.
The Jonas Brothers.
The Jonas
Yeah.
Brothers is a boy
Yeah, but
band. Whatever. So they wrote and made all this money with 5 Seconds of Summer.
okay,
and-
so they
yeah.
did make some
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
I mean, they do like reunion tours and they come back and stuff, but they're not what they were in like 2003 or
No.
2004.
They're not
whatever time.
they're not the band with the giant fat basses, right?
He was pretty
Wasn't
big
that-
at the time.
No. I'm
Wasn't
talking
that
about
Bowling
that
for
was
Soup?
Bowling for
Oh,
Soup.
the bowling,
the
bowling
guitar
band.
player. Yeah,
That's right. Oh, he's a guitar.
I was at a Bowling for Soup show and he licked his guitar pick and like flung it out in the crowd, spit it out in the crowd, and I dogged. I fucking went down. I did not want any of that near me.
Wait, man. I bet you can hide guitar picks in.
Of course, he's fucking huge.
Big dude.
All right, next state is.
Is this your last state?
It can be.
Well, what is this your?
So did you do 6?
I did 5. 1, 2, 3. I did 6. Okay.
Okay, so Michigan's my next one, and
Not the Motor City.
Hitsville.
Detroit. It's what?
I always think of Motown.
Yeah.
You know, the Supremes, Stevie Wonder, one of our favorite artists.
Wow, how
amongst
come every
our
time
group.
you say Stevie Wonder, you always look at stats?
Because he's
colorblind.
He
It's
can't
not
see
the same
purple.
thing.
Hey, stats, what color is this room?
It's the color of blood.
Rusty orange.
Rust.
Yeah, rusty orange. We
Black-
established that last time.
Hey, it's the color of blood.
Okay.
Black and white.
My small obsession, Jack White.
Oh,
He is from
Jesus
Michigan.
Christ. So if Jack White walked into this house right now and said, "Brenden, will you marry me?" You would say,
Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. Brenden, I know how big of a fan you are, and I really want you to just fucking rustle up these balls. I want you to fit both balls inside your mouth, and you would go.
There's a couple like Bob Seger's from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Would you stop that? We're not doing one of those. We're not doing that episode yet.
Oh, the ASMR?
No, we're not doing that
No,
ASMR yet.
we're
No.
not doing that one yet. Bob Seger. Everybody loves Bob Seger.
Yeah, I got
Hollywood Nights. Come
the
on.
Hollywood Nights. Yeah,
Those are great.
that's a good song.
Then those fucking turds, Ted Nugent and Kid Rock, they're from there.
Oh my god.
Eminem's
No,
kind of
I
a turd too.
fucking hate Eminem. Oh my god.
But then I think of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah. Like the Red Wings when you eat out a girl in her period.
We were going so strong without anything too vulgar.
What?
There you
That's
go.
not vulgar. That's true. That's
I
a
didn't
true
know that was a thing.
It's
Did you
true.
just look
What?
that up?
I've heard that before.
What the
I've
fuck?
never
You didn't
heard
know
that
that?
before.
Get out of here, Nick.
Jesus,
That's a.
thing?
Are you fucking kidding me? You've never heard of that.
I've never heard
You're
that before.
30 years old. You never heard of that.
Never heard that before.
I heard that when I was 10.
Not my fault.
And I
They're
had
bad
no
fucking
idea
parents.
what that meant. My parents aren't that bad. They're just not really.
Hey son, let me teach you about a Red Wing.
No, my dad didn't tell me that. I heard that
Come,
in school.
come in the bedroom. I'll show you what a Red Wing looks like.
I went to a Catholic. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna throw up real quick. Fucker, motherfucker.
I feel like the other one like that is
Brown wings. When you eat the girl's butthole. When a girl.
That's not a
That's not.
That's a thing.
That's not a
You
thing.
can totally
No,
brown
you
it.
can't do that.
What? That girl might have diarrhea
That's
from
not
eating bad
original.
Chinese.
That's probably
Oh, you want to call it the Cleveland Brown?
the mistake by the lake.
the mistake by the lake.
Mistake by the lake. I
That's
like
great.
that one.
Yeah, yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I feel like the other one, like the Red Wings one, is like saying you're no Moses because you won't part the Red Sea.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's fucking, we're all disgusting.
All right.
Is that it? Is that a
No,
wrap?
we'll
Is
do
that a
the
wrap
last
for you?
one. We'll do
Oh,
number
yeah.
6. We'll do 6. Minnesota.
Minnesota. Kevin
Birthplace
Garnett.
of Prince, the
Ah,
greatest
okay.
artist in the
Yeah.
history of the world.
No.
Howling Wolf TV.
Oh man, remember Howling Wolf TV? That was a
Great show. Great
Alright,
show.
Well, I remember the Twitter feed. I got the. Actually, it wasn't even Twitter yet. It was Facebook.
Facebook.
I think I'm still Facebook friends with them.
I think
I
everybody's.
never listened to that episode or watched that episode.
That was actually fun.
Probably better off.
That was a Gangrene TV exclusive April Fool's Day prank. That was a great show.
Herb Brooks,
Okay.
coach,
Yeah.
the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. He was from Minnesota. Died in Minnesota too. I think in a car crash or something like that.
Yeah, he did. He did. You know who else was on that 1980s Olympic team?
Mike
Mike
Eruzione.
Eruzione, dude.
Winthrop's finest.
You know who plays?
Everybody's guest, some would say.
Yeah, everybody. Everybody.
There's 2 guys from Massachusetts that just show up to fucking anything. Peter Wolf,
Mike Eruzione. Let me autograph that.
Let's leave that for
Let
them.
me autograph that shirt for you real quick. All right.
Then the song we try to use to get people out of the fucking bar, Closing Time. Semisonic is from Minnesota.
You're really deep into that. Huh?
I read the book. So the drummer from Semisonic put out this book called "So You Want to Be a Rock Star," and he basically just put in plain words all this.
It's closing time.
No, basically how shitty it is to have to deal with these things, and how like he breaks down like
What? How shitty it is to be a rock star?
basically, and how everybody thinks you make all this money, but you're actually like you get limos for free, and you get all these free clothes. No, it gets taken out of
Right.
you,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why you end up
Yeah.
with a cent.
Right.
But
Well,
it was
these,
actually, that was a very
these
good
guys are
read.
only making like a half a penny per song on the radio, anyways.
Yeah, I mean
Right.
they probably do very well with that song. That still gets played.
The money's in touring, right?
Yeah,
So
they're just on the lead singer Dan, whatever. He still tours solo. They're actually, I've listened to their albums. They're actually not bad. Closing Time is just
that one
That's-
song,
it's
you
gonna
can-
break
you
the
can-
band, you know?
could say it's a one-hit wonder.
they are. That's gonna be their hit. They're
That's
not
gonna
gonna be
be their
known
song.
for Secret Smile or the other 2 songs that were popular on the radio.
Those songs I have no idea about.
Exactly.
Stats. So tell me your states. What do you got here?
Oh, do you want to run through these?
Yeah, let's run through them real quick.
so-
Let's do a few more minutes and let's get through stats of states. That way
All right.
we can maybe cut this episode.
So it
around.
combined South and North Dakota, and it was really tough. Mount Rushmore, I was pretty sure was in there, and I feel like that's been confirmed from our
Yeah,
previous
South,
discussion.
South Dakota.
Is it
Yeah,
South
but
Dakota?
that was a guess.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, that was a guess. I knew it was somewhere up there.
That is probably the one historical monument that I constantly forget about, but always want to see. You know,
feel-
like
I
heard,
feel like that would
I've
be
heard
the
a lot of people. You get blue balls.
What?
You go there, you look at it, and you go, "Oh, it's not that big."
well, it's some.
I feel like that's how.
it's still from so far away when you get to see it. Like I know you can't like climb on top of the fucking thing.
How do we
but,
know
like,
that's actually fucking there though? Like now that I'm thinking of it,
right? I mean,
I feel like the Wile E. Coyote rolled this fucking thing out.
when I was younger, I watched an episode of Garfield and Friends, and there was a whole joke about Wyoming not being a real state. Motherfucker, I believed it. I believed it for years, and that was from a cartoon. But you know what? Still kind of believe it. Never fucking been there.
It's
Could be fake.
You drive through
Could be
it.
still
that's
fake.
it.
Well, you driving through it?
Well, Wyoming has.
You don't even drive. You don't have your license. You're 30 fucking years old. Go get your license.
I got a learner's permit, motherfucker.
Hey, it's expired, buddy. Go for it.
Wyoming has the national park, though, right?
No, that's
Yellowstone.
Iowa.
No,
Isn't
it's not
Yellowstone
Iowa.
No, that's what
Might be
Slipknot's
Idaho.
from. Slipknot's Iowa.
Ooh, wow.
All right, anyway,
No,
all right,
that's,
so
Seven
South North
Hills.
Dakota. I think of
Nope.
the border with like Canada, because I think that's like the longest continuous border or whatever.
The North Dakota?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's like some obscure fact that I know.
Actually,
I think of Fargo,
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
and TV
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Mostly movie for me. I haven't seen a ton of the TV show.
I haven't seen the TV. Every time I think of Fargo, all I think about is the body in the wood chipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the
That's what
iconic.
everybody thinks of.
Yeah.
It's like the ideal, the one spot. I've seen that movie 100 times, but like,
Yeah.
it's always that one part.
I always love the scene when he's just sitting there watching the TV and it's all just staticky and Buscemi's just in the back just screaming about God knows what.
So good. Steve
good
Buscemi
movie.
he needs to get the fuck away from Adam Sandler. I know they're friends and all, but like
Is he still doing those movies?
he's still doing Adam Sandler shit.
Jesus, poor bastard.
I can't stand
Must
it.
be an easy
Actually, he's
paycheck.
probably making some
Yeah.
good money.
So I think of like the capitals of South and North Dakota because I don't know what they are. I feel like they're very like.
You didn't look them up.
No, I mean like
No,
I
because
feel like
you
I
might
know.
have
Keep it a mystery.
But like I feel like when you do like one of those like name the capitals of all 50 states, it was always like South and North Dakota were like some of the last 5. I would just be like staring at the computer, just being like, no idea. What could it be?
I'll never need this information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I think of like weird people because I feel like in movies, if you say someone's from South or North Dakota, it's like telling them that they're weird. It's like telegraphing like, oh, this is a weird person that's like about to be
Like
in a
weird,
scene.
like someone who would tuck in a hooded sweatshirt. Weird.
Maybe.
Because that's
like,
weird in my book. I'm sorry.
Like Always Sunny, the weird girl that he like knocks up or something's from there or something, right? Like just like weird stuff like that.
Right.
I had Tennessee. So I think of the Volunteers because I have no idea why that's their mascot for their university.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those that like doesn't make sense.
Well, it's like the Minutemen in for
Minutemen.
UMass.
Yeah, I mean, like I know like Minutemen were like Revolutionary Soldiers. I don't know what
Yeah,
a volunteer
no.
is.
I thought it was just guys who come fast.
Personal meaning.
Yeah.
I think
I'm a
Tennessee. I
member.
think of
30
Nashville and
seconds.
country music.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's a great town from what I hear. I think of the Titans because it's the only major sports team there, right? I mean, the Predators are there, right? I don't
The
think hockey
Predators
is
and
major sport.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, Grizzlies are there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of the Titans.
Yeah.
Graceland,
Yeah.
part of it, but I feel like that's kind of the main attraction.
It's like a main focal point. For,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And I think of the pickup line, like "You're the only 10 I see." I don't know why. But like, I feel like that's one of the
great.
cheesier like
I feel
pickup
like I've
lines.
said that to you
Yeah.
before.
That's probably true.
So Texas, JFK assassination.
Oh,
First off the dome.
Ah,
Not
inside
e-
job.
Number 1 with a bullet.
Inside
grassy
job.
knoll.
Can we
Yeah.
sound the alarm for inside job right there?
Go for it. I think of Austin and South by Southwest because it's
Yeah.
like such a weird part of a state that like seems like kind of an island in and of itself.
For me, it's one of those states that you constantly never leave when you're driving because it's so.
I've never been,
Fucking
but I can imagine.
I went to Houston, and just Houston alone, it
Never ends.
Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends.
The border, I think of,
No.
just because I feel like it's in the news lately. I think of movies. So I don't know why I think of like most movies when I like think of
Most of
like,
our
states.
most of our general knowledge
Yeah.
is based on movies.
So I think of like No Country for Old Men. I think of
great movie.
like Dazed and Confused,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and like
That was
the
Texas
thin,
based?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dazed and Confused. Yeah,
Really?
And the
think
thin
that was
the Thin
North.
Blue Line is like
Yeah.
my favorite documentary probably.
Oh,
And then I think of like stereotypes because I feel like everyone has like Texas stereotypes, like.
Like a shotgun in your truck, you get a gun
Yeah,
rack
or like
in your car.
the 10-gallon hats,
Yeah.
or like the
Yosemite
Steers-
Sam's.
like the Steers and Queers line,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, Pee Wee Herman, The Big Adventure. Always, every time I think of Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
when
not
he's
like
on
a
the
big.
when he's
Yeah.
on the phone with
The
I think
the sun
was it
shines
Dottie?
bright.
Yeah,
So
he's
big.
he's like, I'm in
fucking-
Texas, and he goes, stars at night are big and bright.
yeah. Deep in the heart
Yeah,
of Texas. Pee-wee.
So Utah,
Oh, God bless you.
yeah, not a lot, but
Straight up
Mormons.
Mormons. Yep.
Mormons freak me out
Yeah.
if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, 100%.
But I love the.
I like to
the
talk about the Lord.
But I love the South Park musical that they did. Can't wait to see it again.
Oh,
the
Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
Yeah, Book of Mormon.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think of SLC Punk. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but that was
Oh,
just like
God.
that was a movie that like came out when I was like pretty
Yeah.
young, like kind of probably the
It
perfect
was one of
age
those
for
ones you were
like
supposed to watch.
Yeah.
If you were
Yeah.
anywhere near alternative.
Exactly.
rock music.
That was like
And
a
it-
Newbury Comics exclusive. Always
Yeah,
in the
but
top 10.
it was supposed to
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
I'm only watching this because this is lame.
right.
yeah.
And then you're like, this is really cool.
But I feel like
wanna do
even,
this.
but I feel like now it's like, I don't know, like I can't imagine someone now watching that movie.
You know they made a second one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I never saw it
Nah, I didn't
because
see
I
it
don't
either.
know where to find it, and I don't have a, I don't care.
I don't have a thing.
I just
so
don't care to.
I think of the Jazz and Karl Malone,
Yep.
John Stockton
Mailman.
mostly.
Yeah.
Just because those were like a great team when I was growing up.
It was one of
It's
the-
like the only thing they have almost.
You know, that's really, I mean, coming from Boston, like, we always had a great history in sports with the Celtics were basketball. And that's a lot where our history comes from. But, like, it's also, like, that is the one duo that I always remember. Probably because
Yeah.
the Celtics were so bad in the 90s.
right. I feel like that helped.
And it's like, I always remember watching Michael Jordan just cream everybody. And it was always like, the Phoenix, Charles Barkley, Utah.
Cleveland for a while,
Right. And it's
Utah,
just like-
and the name thing always gets me too because they were moved from New Orleans.
Right.
Right. It's just like
Doesn't
I
make
don't
any
know.
sense.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know why, but that always
One
made
of
it
the
like
most
stick out
vanilla
more.
states in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
And you put jazz.
I don't know, but those ones
bring
like
some
like
culture.
them and the Lakers always stick out to me more because it's like,
Yeah.
well, why are they really named? You
Right.
know,
Twice removed team.
Yeah.
Great jersey. I've always loved the Utah Jazz logo.
The original Utah Jazz. They wore some pieces of shit in last game.
Yeah.
It looked like a sunrise. It looked
Yeah.
awful.
their new ones aren't.
I'm talking
my
about
favorite.
the Stockton.
The
Malone.
old
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So kind of like grasping for straws, but like the Red Flats hiking, and they have like that. I think it's like I don't know if it's the Devil's Point, but it's like the Archway National Park.
Is that
you
where
see pictures of.
127 minutes took place?
Maybe I don't know.
And
I
that
didn't
dude
see
had
that.
to drink his own piss
Yeah.
and saw his arm off.
Yeah, I didn't
You ever
see
see that
that.
fucking movie? With what's
I know
that-
the
what's
story.
that
James
dude's
Franco.
name? James Franco.
Yeah.
The whole part, I can't. I wish I knew if it was actually Utah or not. But like that whole part where he cuts his arm off, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest pieces of film to watch.
So last one, Mitt Romney. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but just like not. But he was the governor of Massachusetts when I was like.
Also,
younger,
it was
you know.
when the Olympics were in Salt Lake.
Yeah, he brought
he brought him there.
Yeah.
And it's just
And he was on TV recently because of he was in the crowd for that like jazz
yeah.
OKC.
Oh, did you see him taunting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was
that's why.
great. He
That's
was
why I was
taunting
like
Westbrook.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just like a weird guy. Like he had something in the news the other day about
j-
saying like his favorite meat was, or his favorite food was hot dog. Like his favorite meat is hot dog, which is like just the weirdest. Like, that's such
Governor
a
Romney,
Mormon.
what's your favorite food? Hot dog.
Hot
Yeah.
dog.
I just like hot dog.
I like.
They're
a
just
good
like
hot
so
dog.
like
One bite.
Mormons fascinate me. Like they don't like. Like if someone falls off the wagon as a Mormon, they drink like a soda, like because they don't drink any caffeine.
If you
They,
don't wear
they
those
only drink
special
milk.
underpants.
Like
That's
yeah,
amazing.
It's just so weird, and they believe that the Garden of Eden is like Jackson, Mississippi, or something.
You have to wear Mormon
Um,
pants. Is that what you
shit.
said? There's like a certain.
Yeah,
Mormon-
they got underpants, the special underpants.
Oh,
You never
shit,
seen
yeah.
that?
No, I fucking heard
Yeah.
of the Mormon pants. Yeah.
So my last one's Vermont. So real easy, hippies and pot.
yeah.
Pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
I guess. Fish,
Garbage
yeah.
fucking
Maple
music.
syrup,
Maple syrup, of course.
trees and mountains.
Can you
because
believe
I feel
that
like
a hippie ass state like that makes such delicious fucking
I can believe that.
syrup?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
takes a
ice
while.
cream.
Who?
Ice cream.
No, that's
I love
true.
ice
Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, I feel like Ben and Jerry's is too sweet.
Fucking body by Ben.
Trees and mountains, because I feel like anytime you drive in there, that's like
Yeah.
all it is. It's just ridiculous. I think of hillbillies because
The Hills Have Eyes. No.
Hills
The
Have
Hills Have Eyes, I think. Would be
What was that?
it's like
what was
West
that
Virginia,
other-
Virginia.
What was that? Yeah. But what was that other movie? The Wrong Turn, where they got lost in the forest. That
idea.
chick with the douche name in it.
Elijah Dushku.
Elijah Dushku.
She's from
She's from Everett.
Massachusetts.
She is. Her mother's a teacher in Suffolk.
Maybe
Is she still married to Rick Fox?
No, I think he left her.
he left her.
I don't know. This is all debatable.
So the last thing for Vermont, I think of Subarus because
What
like
makes
everyone-
a Subaru though?
I don't know.
Subaru.
Two lesbians, I think. But like that's all it is up there is because like everyone needs 4-wheel drive and like I don't know. No, that's about it.
All right. Well, that was a good run through some states there. We got through what 18 right there, right? That's a good run.
Not bad.
All right. So this is definitely going to be a couple Potter episode, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's something to talk about. It definitely makes you think. Halfway through a lot of these states, it was just like it kind of rang my mind. Like, I think of this.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it's just.
You brought up Arkansas. I thought of Sling Blade, and then I almost started
Jesus,
just quoting
yeah.
Sling Blade the rest of the episode.
I mean, there's a lot of backward ass fucking states out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just it really does make you think of a lot of things. So, speaking of, if you like that show, please give us 5 on the old iTunes. Even if you didn't like that show, give us 5 and tell us that we're awful people. You can go to patreon.com/drunken opinions and probably try to help us get through this life. Maybe be our daddy. Give us a little
Daddy.
Give us a little skriller on the side. I'm going to annoy Brenden one more time. Check us out on Twitter at Drinkable Words. Ugh. Oh, his face just cringes every single time I say that.
It's not great, Dave.
All right, well, you know what? I would like to think that you guys would help me out on what we can change it to. Maybe, you know what? Why don't you go to...
Did you try Drunk Opinions?
Yeah, you can't do that. But you can try drunkenopinions.com and maybe leave a comment on what you think our show should be called. Pick on your favorite section of the website and
Take a look around.
Take a look around. So tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Yeah, take a look at me now.
So I think that's about it. I want to thank Nick for helping us out tonight.
Thanks, Nick.
It's 2 shows in a row. I hope that we can chain him tighter so he doesn't leave. Maybe feed him more. The cage. Is any of your cages available?
Full up at the end.
They're all full. All right, we'll get him something nice. All right, well, thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.